Hi, Sean here. Before I get on with my video where I'm going to talk about some of my favourite Korean movies, I just wanted to do another giveaway to my subscribers and viewers and stuff. The other giveaway is still going on. If you fancy winning an iTunes card or a PlayStation Network card, check out my uploads. You'll see the one that says giveaway for iTunes card and PSN card. This one I'm going to give away some BluRays. We got some cool films here. I got Monsters, one of my favourite films from last year, and Rodriguez Machete, The American, George Clooney, and the 2-disc Social Network. That was my favourite film of last year. Anyway, in order to be eligible to win any of these, just add this video to your favourites, leave a comment down below which Blu-ray you want. Unfortunately, these are all UK based Blu-rays, so if you are in the US, I don't have a US alternative, but I am willing to post these still to you if you win. I will pick a random commenter and message you via YouTube to get your mailing address. And yeah, I won't be giving all of these away. I'll give one of these away, and then I'll give another one of them away in the next video. With the next 4 videos, we've got Blu-rays to give away, basically. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, a couple of days ago, I watched a movie called The Man from Nowhere, which is the South Korean film. It's kind of a thriller, cop thriller, vengeance film, kind of, and it's really, really good, and I'll put up a review of that soon. But it kind of got me thinking, and it got me thinking because I've also recently watched I Saw the Devil, which has become my favourite film of the year, and it got me just thinking about Korean cinema in general, and I was kind of questioning why it was so good, and I've always had this feeling that Asian cinema had suffered from this third act sort of poison, this disease, where they just don't know how to end a film, and always seem to drag out the third act of the film. But with Korean cinema, I can name so many films that I've loved, especially over the last 10-15 years. I've really enjoyed. So I started sort of putting a mini list together of some of the films that I really liked, and I've been thinking about it a lot why I like cinema or Korean cinema, and I think I'm nearly at a point to explain it or to write it down or to make a video about it, but I wanted to make a video now of some of my favourite Korean films. So if you have seen some Korean films and you want some suggestions for some good Korean films, this might be the list you want to listen to. So The Man from Nowhere and I Saw the Devil, 2 films this year that you should definitely check out if you haven't already seen them. They're really, really brilliant. I can't pronounce the director's name of The Man from Nowhere, and that's one of the problems with being a fan of Korean cinema, is not remembering directors' names. They're not as easy to pronounce as something like David Fincher or Kevin Smith or Steven Soderbergh. The 2 directors that I do know the names of all the time are Ji-Woon Kim and Chan-wook Park. I nearly forgot Chan-wook Park's name then. So Ji-Woon Kim directed I Saw the Devil. Previously, he also directed A Bittersweet Life, which is definitely another film that you should check out, and A Tale of Two Sisters, which was around 2003, is another film of Ji-Woon Kim's that you should definitely check out. There's obviously the Vengence Trilogy by Chan-wook Park, which is Sympathy for Mr Venegence, Oldboy, and Lady Vengeance. Oldboy obviously being like the classic one that everyone's seen and is kind of a lot of people's entrance into Korean cinema, and unfortunately it's sometimes people's exit of Korean cinema because it's the only one they ever see. It is a brilliant film. I personally think that Oldboy is a modern classic. I prefer, out of the Vengence trilogy, Sympathy for Mr Venegence. I don't know why. I've seen it more times, I've watched it and enjoyed it more times. I do love Oldboy, it is brilliant. I just prefer Sympathy for Mr Venegence, they kill me. Other Chan-wook Park films are JSA, Joint Security Area, and Thirst. JSA was made in 2000, and Thirst is kind of is a vampire film, a Korean vampire film. So if you like Korean horror films, or think that Chamble Park would make a very good vampire film, he did. It's called Thirst. It was made in 2009. I don't know how available it is in the UK or the US, but I do know that you can import a disc from Asia. So if you check out playasia.com or something like that, or redsun.org, Redsun? Yeah, Redsun, or risingsun.org, you can order it from those two websites. The Host, a 2006 monster movie. Now, when the first trailers for Cloverfield began to appear, everyone thought it was a remake of The Host, and so it's a monster movie in that sort of way. It's like this very Godzilla-esque. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a very fun movie, very enjoyable. Friday night with beers and pizza, and definitely a recommendation. The Host, 2006. Check it out if you've never seen it. The Chaser, I can't remember the year for this film, and I can't bother to check IMDb for it, but it's a film about a cop who becomes a pimp and then begins having financial troubles because his girls are going missing. Not a flawless film, has its problems, but an enjoyable film. The Warrior is I'm going to say 2001 film, maybe 2002, 2003. It's a period movie about 9 warriors who are protecting this princess. It's a really, really well photographed film, and has a really amazing soundtrack that I've been trying to get a hold of for years, and I always forget to try and get a hold of it as well, and then I remember and try and find it, but never can. Anyway, really enjoyable film, The Warrior. Find it. There's a lot of films called The Warrior. Just having a look at my list here. Public Enemy is a 2002 film where a killer and a cop form this like bond in a dark alley, and it's I don't know if it still holds up today, but when I saw it back in 2002, 2003, I thought it was a brilliant film. I don't know if it's a brilliant film now. Very good film though. Public Enemy, definitely check it out. A Brand New Life, 2009. It's got the little girl who was in The Man from Nowhere. I believe her name is pronounced Se Won Kim. She is amazing. I think she's an amazing little actress. She's like the Korean Dakota Fanning, if you will, and I can definitely see her going on to do some really, really great things. Whispering Corridors is a Korean horror film, 1998, so it's quite. I haven't seen it for a few years, but I remember seeing it around the time that I had a little obsession with Korean horror movies, and it's one that sticks out in my mind as it was a really, really good film. And along with it, I saw a film called Memento Mori, which I'll also mention, which is another good horror film. It's made in '99. I didn't see these films around that time. I saw them about 2 or 3 years later when I was working in a Virgin Megastore, but they stick in my mind as being really, really great films. So that's kind of my mini list. I don't know how long that went on for, but those films are certainly worth checking out. I'll make like a doodly doo in the D bar down below, and don't forget, if you want any of these lovely Blu-rays, favourite this video, leave a comment down below on which one you would like.